Which of those four is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I said it to my brother because he got Tupac killed.
In case you missed it, the news wrote, the Tupac murder case is being reinvestigated by Las Vegas police. The new evidence shows signs of it being a rap industry hit consisting of artists like Snoop Dogg, Diddy, and Suge Knight. As the Las Vegas police created evidence files on each of their involvements, which ends up beginning with Snoop Dogg, who ended up revealing a deep secret that he never shared before on a podcast.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions that he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last minute changes, he just randomly didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge having an altercation just 24 hours prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to, prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
The altercation between the three, then Tupac passing away, occurred all within 36 hours, making the police very suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Some speculate Snoop could have even received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided on getting in the car. But the feds then found another interview where Snoop claims that 2 days before Tupac died, he felt like Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like that. I want to do some music with him. And I just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
Then the further you research through the police files, the scarier it gets about it being a rap industry hit. As the next piece starts out with Suge Knight, with a viral tweet reading, the reinvestigation of Tupac's murder is revealing new names and evidence on those involved. One name brought up is Suge Knight. As the feds first looked into Suge Knight, when Eminem said in quote, "I'm holding Suge responsible for the death of the 2 greatest rappers to ever grace the face of the planet. If only the late Christopher Wallace could talk, he would tell you himself, I'm holding Suge responsible for the death of Ja Rule or anyone else that's down with the row." As according to the police records it reads, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Suge Knight arranged Tupac's murder before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Crips to throw off the investigators. This then raises a very important question. Who's a famous Crip gang member that Suge Knight would want to pin Tupac's murder on? According to Mike Dorsey, Diddy is a part of the Crips. As the police would then create a new file all based around Diddy and his involvement. The news wrote, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated by having Biggie dealt with. As originally stated, that Diddy hired Keefe D to get Tupac. Then 15 years of walking free, when the police finally arrested Keefe D, he then did an interrogation. But what he didn't know is that he was being recorded when confessing that Diddy was the lead man of the crime.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
As in the recent Diddy trial, he was even questioned on his involvement. The news wrote, Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing, as Keefe D, the hired hitman of the crime, said that everything was Diddy's wish. But what truly made the feds starting to look into Keefe D was this viral interview where he would reveal that it happened so fast, all because Tupac was originally reaching for his firearm on the passenger side of the BMW when he passed away.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started at Tupac and Suge.
This not only means that Tupac already knew something was about to go down in the middle of the street, but it also means this entire situation could have been avoided, as at the scene of the crime, before it occurred, Tupac was having a conversation with Keefe D, who was driving the vehicle, and the man in the back seat only used his firearm because Tupac was reaching for his, so he wanted to protect Keefe D. This would end up hitting news headlines extremely fast. 50 Cent would hear about it while on stage, and he would say,
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about puffing. You saw that? You saw that clip? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about puffing because he got Tupac killed.
Even Eminem would react in his song titled Fuel, where he would rap the lyrics, I ain't trying to beef with him, cause he might put a hit on me like Keefe D did him, and that's the only way you're gonna be getting me. Literally exposing Diddy for getting Keefe D to commit the hit. This would then be followed up with times that people confronted Diddy about being responsible for Tupac's death, such as this very awkward Breakfast Club interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even gonna go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Cause you, listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But then on the final page of the evidence files, it would then be shared in the Diddy trial. It gave the courtroom the chills as Keefe D explained how Tupac died. The police would write, on September 7th, 1996, Tupac Shakur was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label, Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match. After it was over, the two spotted an op in the lobby of the arena.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security would end up breaking up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops, resulting in Tupac and Suge going back to their hotel to change their clothing. Once they were finished, the two would then head off to a club to go party it out for the night. As at around 11 p.m., they began driving to the club, where they would then be stopped at a red light. While stopped, an opposing vehicle would then pull up on the right side of Tupac, where the crime would go down.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
The Tupac murder case was then cold for over 2 decades. But then randomly, an elderly man named Keefe D began doing interviews on DJ Vlad's show. This one interview would go viral where he would literally detail the moments of finding Tupac and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
This would be one of the boldest claims of the year. DJ Vlad was even skeptical, so he would want some sort of proof, meaning Keefe D would then share a never-before-seen police interrogation on the night of the crime, confirming that he was actually there.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out
in
of
the back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre.
He leaned over on the window, we rolled down the window.
The police were then even able to find Keefe D's literal reaction to Tupac passing away, which shows his true emotions, where he wishes it was never even done.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate that shit happen. Promise to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But here's where the story gets very interesting, where the police aren't even counting out that Tupac could still be alive. The murder files share a lot of holes in the story, and let me explain. There's an interview from an officer that reveals Tupac was an industry plant with a job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda they came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
The plan obviously did not work, but then he just suddenly passed away. It seems very suspicious, but there's a lot more to the story, and it's why the police saved this viral Reddit thread. As in 2010, there's an interview with a rapper named Tretch. He was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before his concert. Tretch and Tupac were very close friends back in the day. They even worked on a few albums together, but here's where it gets weird. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording. He placed his camera onto the ground, and in the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking him about Tupac. He responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question.
Nobody knows.
Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then just 3 weeks later, a video would be released onto a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot inside of Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holler back, just trying to be friendly and get autographs.
Holla back exclusive, baby. Holla back.
This is what created the theory that Tupac is alive in Cuba, and it was the most popular theory until 2025, as Suge Knight agrees that Tupac is alive and well. He has said so in many interviews over the course of the last 2 decades now, but one particular interview he would share, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is, according to police records, it stated that Tupac was supposedly in a coma when arriving to the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? It doesn't seem to add up. However, when you look back at a 2008 interview, 10 years apart, Suge Knight said the exact same thing.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
But after the 2008 interview, when Suge leaked this information, he almost lost his life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. He was hesitant to tell the police anything, but he knew that it was due to him talking about Tupac in a public interview. But what's scarier is, Suge Knight's son, Suge Jr., made that exact same mistake. In 2018, Suge Jr. took it to Instagram stating that Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia. After he posted it, he then posted another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where somebody randomly messaged him, "You have said too much, it's now time for you to go." We would then see Suge Jr. begin to post several photos of Tupac alongside modern day celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce, making it really seem like someone was going after him for leaking all this info. As on the photo with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe that it was a publicity stunt for Suge Jr. to gain social media clout, others believe that it was factual, as he would be the one to know more about the case than anyone else in the world, considering his father was right there at the scene and his father is literally Suge Knight. But comment down below what you believe. Is Tupac still alive, or was he the target of a rap industry hit?